Perk back here with us.
No, did you ever hear doubts coming out of my mouth, Molly, in the last year and a half that we've talked about Kevin Durant? Ever once? Any doubts at all?
No, sir.
And it ain't going to happen now. And here's the reason why. If KD was Michael Jordan, if he were, back in the day, let me go old school, the David Thompson, the Dr. J. Julius Irvins of the world, stuff like that, and their game was predicated on their elite athleticism, that would be one thing. But even though we know KD to be a great athlete, what stands out to me is the combination of his sniper-like marksmanship combined with the fact that he's 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan. You understand that Kevin Durant barely has to jump. He can damn near tippy-toe the dunk, for crying out loud, because that's how tall he is with that damn wingspan, okay? And so if you're guarding him, what are you going to do to contest his shot? Even if he doesn't have to jump. That's why I view him as somebody who can average the career 27-point per game scorer that he is. He can do that in his sleep. Now, there are other elements that come along with the game. You know, your lateral movement, your ability to defend, you handling the ball, trying to create shots off the dribble. I get all of that, and I understand that. And if he's not healthy, that can be compromised. But it has been a year and a half that he's been out of competition. They say it takes you about a year to get healthy, to get healthy enough to play, and almost 2 years to be fully recovered from it. Fair enough. The man hasn't played in over a year and a half. And so to me, I look at it and I say to myself, I'm anticipating the season progressing, come springtime, into the summer, because the season's not going to end until late July. And by the time May rolls around, do I think he's going to be 100%? Yes. I'm not worried about KD in the slightest. He's going to average at least 25. He's going to be just fine.
Saying KD's going to average 25, talking about his wingspan and his height and the style of play, that's fine. But is he going to be KD? KD is not just a dude who rolls out of bed and averages 25. KD is a special, historically different, all-around player at his size. And he became an excellent defender. Not all that long ago, became an excellent defender. When you look at recovery from Achilles throughout history, Breonna Stewart notwithstanding, right? It almost never happens that the person's 100% again. Almost never. Dominique Wilkins came back, and part of what he did was he shot the ball better. How much, Dominique had areas of his game that he could improve. What area of KD's game? Is he going to shoot it even better now to compensate for something? Kobe Bryant was never the same, obviously. I mean, he was older, but he was never the same. Most players who come back from Achilles, the vast majority of them who ever lived, are not the same. Now, is 80% of KD going to be hard to tell the difference? Yeah, 80% of KD is not just an all-star. It's more than that. But that doesn't mean he's going to be the same guy. Like the MVP, the heir apparent to LeBron, the guy who's challenging LeBron as best player in the game. That's not what that means. It means he can still be an effective player. He might win a championship. I think if he does, it would prove greatness in a way he hasn't had to yet. But all that is different than saying he's coming back at 100%. And if you do believe he's coming back at 100%, maybe he does. I was wrong about Tom Brady's cliff, right? Then he's bucking the odds. The odds are stacked against him. And if he does it, great. But I don't think you can assume that with almost no examples in history, he's going to be one of them.
Oh, Max, please, give me a break. Look, Kevin Durant is the best scorer to ever touch a basketball. He's the best scorer in NBA history. That's first off. Let me tell you something about Kevin Durant.
Not true.
Kevin Durant eats, sleep, and breathe basketball. He's not one of those guys, those NBA players that get caught up in the limelight outside of basketball, the club and the jury, the cars. No, he's from his house to the basketball court. He is the true definition of a gym rat, and here's why. I played with Kevin Durant for 4.5 years with the Oklahoma City Thunder. When he fractured his foot, I would go into the gym to get on the elliptical to make sure I made weight the next day because I had to keep my weight down. I would go in there late at night. Kevin Durant would be in there shooting jump shots, sitting down in a chair. because he couldn't put pressure on his foot. So when I tell you this, Max, and we're hearing these rumors, and you hear a guy like Jared Allen say that KD is back, you better believe it. And Stephen A. Smith is right. He could get out of the bed and drop 25 in his sleep or 27 in his sleep. Look, if KD is 80% healthy at the start of the season.
Thank you.
80%. If he's 80%, not only will he be back to KD, but KD, the way that he loves the game of basketball and him being away from it for a year and a half and have to watch others go out there and compete and have fun and watch LeBron James win a championship, I'm willing to bet everything that I have that Kevin Durant might just be the MVP next year. That's how serious it is. That's how serious it is for him. You talking about a gym rat.
KP.
Kendrick
Perkins,
what's up, Stephen A?
I'm with you 1,000%. I'm with you 1,000%. I was going to mention that. I'm telling you right now, Kevin Durant's going to be a top 2, top 3 candidate for league MVP next year. His brother going to put on a show in Brooklyn. For the first, and think about what you said, Max. Think about what you said about Brooklyn. If you know, Max, what Brooklyn is, all right? If you know what Brooklyn is, what you think he know about Brooklyn since he elected to go there and he's been there sitting down watching them for the last year? It's going watch.
Wait a minute.
Y'all watch.
That's not the question. I'm not doubting that he can win a championship in Brooklyn. I think it would be great. I'm rooting for it to happen. I think there's a really good chance it will. That's not the question.
Question was, do we have doubts about KD being KD?
Is not what you say. 80% of being KD, Perk. Stephen A., that's not KD. 80% of KD is not KD. Stephen A., I appreciate your point about the fact that this is not, I think it's a good one, that this is not like regular seasons. He's had extra time to come back, usually from a catastrophic injury, a year to get back and then another year to get back to what you were. So maybe at the end of the year, he could still be KD, but the odds are even stacked against that. I heard the same thing about Kobe Bryant. I was in L.A. at the time.